Located on the southern slopes of the eastern Himalayas, Bhutan is a small country tucked between India and Tibet. The large majority of the population practices Vajrayana Buddhism. The legend says that in the 8th century, Guru Rinpoche, the second Buddha, manifested in Dorje Drolo's wrathful form in order to subdue the malevolent local spirits. Buddhism was thus established in Bhutan. Bhutan is a peaceful country where the gross national product, emblematic of the global economic culture, was substituted by the gross national happiness, as early as 1972. The gross national happiness takes into account the actual quality of life of the population by integrating a well-being index informed by a holistic understanding of human beings. Bhutan's Prime Minister Jigme Thinley once said, "In this era of global environmental devastation and cultural destruction, in this time of growing failure and collapse of our global economic order, the world desperately needs an alternative to the materialist obsession." We find numerous sacred places in Bhutan, such as the temple of Parotaksang, or Tiger's Nest, nested in the rocks at an altitude of over 3,000 meters. Guru Rinpoche reached this place riding a tigress. He composed the sadhana of Mahamudra and completed many retreats in this place. Since the days of Guru Rinpoche, the Buddhist tradition has been passed down in the land of Bhutan from generation to generation, thanks to the kindness and generosity of many great spiritual masters, such as Dudjom Rinpoche or Dilgo Khyentse Rinpoche, who have worked tirelessly for the preservation of Tibetan Buddhism, with the motivation of benefiting all sentient beings. Among these spiritual masters, we find His Eminence Dzogchen Poloken Rinpoche, a Tibetan master from the region of Kham in eastern Tibet. Poloken Rinpoche was recognized as an emanation of Vimalamitra, a renowned Indian master from the 8th century, who worked closely with Guru Rinpoche and Vajrayana to spread the Dzogchen teachings in Tibet. When the Chinese invaded Tibet, Poloken Rinpoche escaped and found refuge in India. He was then invited to Bhutan by some of his students. The king of Bhutan, who recognized his great qualities, gave him asylum, as well as a place to practice. With his immense clairvoyance, Poloken Rinpoche prophesied that Bhutan would become a highly important place for the preservation of the Buddhist teachings. Whilst they appeared in India, the Buddhist teachings later mostly disappeared there. Though they had also spread to Tibet, they have suffered tremendously from the Chinese occupation. In Nepal, the political situation is very unstable. Thus, the peaceful political situation in Bhutan, as well as the king's and people's great devotion to Buddhism, have made the country a most significant place for the preservation of the Buddhist teachings. Poloken Rinpoche prophesied that the construction of a Dudul Stupa, a stupa to subdue demons, in the southern region of the medicinal land of Bhutan named Gelepu, would ensure the continuous subsistence of the Buddha's precious teachings, as well as the long life of the masters who hold them. It will also increase happiness and well-being in the world. Lama Tsewang was born in Bhutan in 1956. Since very young, he has been dedicating his life to Buddhism and the practice of compassion towards all sentient beings. He has received initiations and transmissions of the teachings of the 4 schools of Tibetan Buddhism, notably from his root masters Dilgo Khyentse Rinpoche, Dodrupchen Rinpoche, Penor Rinpoche, Gangten Tulku Rinpoche, and Poloken Rinpoche. In line with the prophecy, Lama Tsewang Dorje, one of the disciples of Poloken Rinpoche, realized what an immense loss it would be, were the meaning of these predictions to disappear. Animated by a profound respect for his root teacher and his prophecy, Lama Tsewang generated the firm intention to benefit the teachings and sentient beings by committing to the concretization of the project. Subsequently, other great masters such as His Eminence Gangten Rinpoche gave him their support. On December 16, 2009, Bhutan's Ministry of Culture and Religious Affairs recognized the significance of His Eminence Poloken Rinpoche's prophecy in an official communiqué, therefore offering the land of Gelepu for the construction of the Peace Stupa. In order to further support this endeavor, the ministry has also been coordinating and supervising the project. It put together the budget as well as a 5-step plan for its realization, the first and most important step being the construction of the stupa itself, including the edification of an inner temple. Well aware of the impermanence of all phenomena, Lama Tsewang decided to sell all his possessions, including his land, in order to start the construction of the stupa. With the approval of His Eminence Gangten Rinpoche, Lama Tsewang came to Europe in 1998 to teach the Dharma in the Yeshe Kolo Buddhist Center. He stayed there 13 years. Since 2011, and with the ongoing support of His Eminence Gangten Rinpoche, Lama Tsewang came back to Bhutan to live in a most simple straw house on the very site of the construction of the stupa, so as to be fully engaged with its completion.
Samlo mamboche tangne ta mi ta tamodin gi sije ta temba ta temche gi tungo ni mi chetin reboche gi onden tarto ti mi chetin de kosu de yo ke kosu pick up ta ta narayang te ta ti chetin gi ta bo de ta ta ti ge yo ne ta ni kambo ke bosi chapsongwa ina kambo de la te to mambo to gi tu kamlo ta te ko gi min do ke ta ta ti te tapse Diji tamsi mitakwa imani sonte tamara kola gadu ine teni chiwata. Tibi tama tiba tewa tepe yore, tibi kunte tata ni ti chutinti. Gosumni natangara ki chutinti kala ki kapsa ngara teta di chita tenta ki teni ngara tegi. Umegi chimchi kangpa chigi nana tegi yore. Karele tona, kaso kangpa ti ngara ki chutinti na tango ki chutinti na matana. Ini ta kanjo man tang ba yin ta ma ba la ngala ten para ten pemba ta chim ba ya yo ma de yin di ta ngala ti ni pemba de la kon ni ta ta ni pemba ke tem ti de la kon ni ta ta ni chi ngara gi ye pa ka re ye pa ti ta ta chi ti gi to na ta gi yo de se di yin de ta ngara gi per na ngara gi ta sa yu ne ta ngara gi ju yu ne ta ka re yu ne ye pa ti ta ta chi ni song ni so sa mo chi de na ta gi yo de ngala Mumi Shemba Nala Teni, Pendam Churpon, Chekanya Yoma, Menaya, Maram, the Timbigi, the Gang Pateta Tapsing, cheating it on Tamuting, Tempting it on Tembata, Tempting it on Tamutan, Nibadi, Tamuling, Sidig it on Tamutan, Tamutan, Kare Yuna, Yupateta, the gate on the tongue you later. Tangi Tang Yupan, the gate to go to town, cheating Japan, the Nemar, Kosun, Tandabot, the Tigalepio, the in the Tamana. Cheating it on the Chimata, Pusafuyanga, Rotation, College and Taputa Kuyinayang, Kosegi, Mitaka, Kamota, Kosegi, Arato, the Perna, Arato, GT Tamudangi, Tell down, Ronchi, Ari, Michila, Yeba Inayang, Tilla, Chivi Kapune, Aratola, Kurju Kaya Yoma, Perna, Arata, Kapta Kipa and Kurju Yoma. Shivi Kapane, Garet over it, Tosogi, Letan, Revolatene, Togore, Tatamara, Le Tapaina, Le Tacolatene, Tungilla, Tungino, 되니 대부 개와사과에는 개와라 되는 말하는 게 대부의 토리를 도야요. 그게 이제 다소다 소위나요. 소속이 미다 바탐로다네 말하는 거기다. 그다 모든 게 시제다. 때마다 템지게 되나. 시제잖아다. 간주 지조 간주지 tốt다. 그다 소위내야 되라. 로봇이 돈이 잡고
Conceived to last at least 1,000 years, this stupa will contribute to world peace and to the happiness of future generations. Stupas represent the wisdom and compassion of the Buddha's enlightened mind. Their construction brings as much benefits as making offerings to the very body, speech and mind of the Buddha, which is immeasurable. This doodle stupa will pacify conflicts, discords and obstacles. It will accomplish wishes in this life and the next, thus bringing peace and happiness. It is a perfect and traditional support for spiritual practice and gives countless benefits to the beings who see it, hear about it or participate in its construction. This stupa will be filled with mantras, extraordinary relics, various precious and sacred substances, as well as a myriad of special varieties of plants and flowers, along with water and earth collected throughout the world. This is the College of Philosophical Studies, based on the wisdom that arises as a result of the insight into the workings of our minds. Buddhism upholds values such as tolerance, openness and compassion. The schooling of the children will therefore largely be inspired by an education that respects the cultural foundations of Bhutan and also supports academic achievement. The school will be able to accommodate 215 students and teachers, with boarding available for the children and housing for the teachers. It will give access to primary, secondary and higher education. This school will also offer free education for unprivileged children coming from poor families and living in isolated areas of Bhutan. In this way, a complete schooling will be given, both traditional and modern at the same time. Measuring 43 meters high and 21 meters wide, the main stupa is the very heart of this project and will liberate upon seeing. It will contain a 3-story temple to accommodate over 400 people and where daily practices and rituals will be conducted. Furthermore, 8 smaller stupas will be erected on the same site to mark the main stages of the Buddha's life, all 8 meters high. In this extraordinary place, a retirement home for elderly people coming from unprivileged backgrounds will be also built. It will welcome over 100 residents from all horizons. A retreat center will be built 500 meters above the main site for the traditional 3 years, 3 months and 3 days retreats. It will be available to students who have completed their school studies and also to those coming from outside, who wish to deepen their knowledge and understanding of Buddhism. Throughout the construction of the stupa, Lama Tsewang made sure to practice pacification rituals in order to dispel obstacles. Weeks of practices and rituals have already been conducted place on the site of the project, thus bringing together many people both from the region and from distant places. For instance, in early 2015, Namkha Rinpoche, Nyingmapa master and spiritual guide of the Rigzin community, came together with many monks and lay practitioners to perform a Dorje Drolo Drupche. In February 2015, Gangten Tulku Rinpoche, recognized as the reincarnation of Pema Lingpa, as well as 70 monks from Gangten Monastery, gathered inside the stupa's inner hall to perform a Vajrakilaya Drupche for 9 days. On the day of the initiation, over 1,000 people amassed inside the stupa and another 500 outside. The 70 monks, as well as another 300 people, recited Vajrakilaya mantra every day. Since 2009, several ceremonies and rituals have been performed. The opening ceremony took place on December 18, 2009, whereby the land was consecrated before the start of the construction. On December 25 to 27, 2009, the ceremony to bless the land was performed along with offerings to satisfy the Nagas and to dispel obstacles. Over 100 people gathered for the occasion, including the prefect, monks and inhabitants of the region. On March 5, 2011, the site was blessed by J. Kempo Jigme Choda. A few days later, Bhutan's Minister of Housing and Culture laid down the first stone, accompanied by His Eminence Gangten Rinpoche. Since 2011, much construction work has been done. The 3 transverse walls, as well as the wall that overhangs the river in order to protect the site from floods, the foundational paving stone and the 16 pillars of the stupa and its ground floor have all been completed. In 2014, the first floor's paving stone was constructed. As you can see it here, the rest of the first floor is currently under construction.
Chabje polo ken rinpoche longten rubi nipa ngala me yinang longten di kelchepora tongte leka gosok dune chinchi sola babchan sagi me kencho somge tundu kella damche shubayin o dering namlo nikton chonga chida rubi se nisho sa ronin ojin guru rinpoche chongkar tuichindan del mao longten rubi chedo sikdin soldep drayang tok ojin guru rinpoche chantang shubayin longnin zingmi pomo yongla lisin dewa chungi rewa ye Koro
because of the impermanence of phenomena, no one knows how much longer they have to live. So, to taking any action for a project such as this, no matter how large or small, will be beneficial for oneself and others. This opens the door to great blessings and the accumulation of great merit. It brings immediate benefit and works for future generations. By the power of this offering, may the sponsor, as well as his family and all beings who have a connection with him, be liberated from all obstacles and ultimately go beyond the ocean of samsara.